Greetings. Today I want to speak to you concerning how all business actually comes from God. You see, most people never read Deuteronomy 32:39, where it says that I am God and there is no other. You see, I kill and I make alive, I wound and I heal. And also in Isaiah chapter 45 verses 5 to 7, it says, I am God and there is no other. I create the darkness and I create light. I create good and I create evil. You see, many people read that but they never see that God and man are one. They never see themselves in the scripture. They see everything else except themselves. When you realize that God in man is man's awareness of being, man's power to imagine, man's power to form, shape, and mold, man's power to kill and to make alive, to wound and to heal, manpower to display the light and also to display the darkness. All of that constitutes one's awareness, one's consciousness. And definitely consciousness is what creates reality. The only thing that is real is your consciousness, your awareness, which is your true essence. Therefore, your invisible self, which is your non-physical self, is your real self. This body is just like a house that you live in, or a suit that you put on. Some people might just refer to it as your avatar. But if you can see it that way, then you would realize why you're told that God do not dwell in temples and made of hands. Because you will know that your body is the temple of God. So whatever business a person chooses to get involved in, it is because the force had a burning desire. And a burning desire is basically a spiritual sensation. So whether is it a business that you might think to be sinful, you might think it to be wicked, you might think it to be evil, it is still the expression of God, because you can be God asleep or God awake. You see, most people have no understanding of the laws that governs all of humanity and the laws that governs the entire universe. They have no understanding of universal laws, because if they really understand the law of mentalism, they'll never believe in an entity outside of themselves that is causing the things that are happening in their life. They'll never blame a devil, because you would realize that you're the cause of everything in your life. Many people normally speak about karma, but they do not realize that karma is basically the law of cause and effect. You see, they use it, karma, they use it in a very common way and a very idle way without any proper understanding. You see, so my brother, my sister, when you really realize that there is a lot of difference or opposite, a lot of opposite, which is the law of polarity, you will realize just as you have night, you have day. Okay? And you cannot have day without night, and you cannot have night without day. You cannot have good without evil, and you cannot have evil without good, because one is reflecting the other. Okay? Then you would realize it's like having a coin. The coin have two sides. You have a head, it have a tail. So too with God and the devil. It reflects your higher self and your lower self. And so most people separate themselves from God. That is why they do not know their higher self and their lower self. So they never really embrace and believe their God self. And so when they see people involved in certain business that might not be a part of their religious beliefs or the morals they tie themselves to, which are actually burdens, okay, right? They will judge, because if you come from a religious upbringing, most of the time you'll be judgmental, and you'll have a lot of condemnatory thoughts. You carry around a lot of fear and doubt and guilt and shame, because you haven't come into the energy of love. Love is pure and it doesn't judge and condemn. You see, when you find true love is when you find your true self. When you find your true self is when you actually find your God self. And when you definitely find your God self, you would know that your mind is your business. Because every business starts from the mind. So who are you to judge another man's business? Do you realize even the Bible says that if a man have worries and problems, he must drink? So if a person have a business where they're selling alcohol, who are you to condemn that business? Do you know that sex is a business? Sex itself is a business. Doesn't matter how you do it. And most people believe that they could stand before a man who would read from a little book and that man could give them right to have sex without guilt and shame because they go through that traditional process that they give us and they call that marriage. And you have to pay the state some money to do that. But that is not written anywhere in the Bible for you to do that. But the system gives you that. And everybody accepts it and embrace it because all of society believe it. But it doesn't mean that that is actually the right thing. Okay? Because many people look at life in terms of good and evil, but nothing is really good or evil. It's just basically thinking, make it so. We all use the thinking stuff in life. And whatever result we are getting, it is because of the way how we think. So everything basically comes from the mind. Everyone is using thoughts. Okay? And so when I said that even sex, it is a business. Business is based on giving and receiving. It is an exchange. And sex is sacred energy exchange. You're exchanging energy. You are in the creation process, the process of bringing forth. And so they build a whole industry around sex, which is the pornographic industry. And the same people who interpret the Bible to the masses and they interpret it exoterically, pointing them to look outwardly, those are the same people who put the laws in place to legalize these things. And these same religious people get themselves involved in politics. And it takes politicians to put certain things in place as a law. For example, alcohol and all of these things have been sold everywhere. And you cannot sell it without a license. A person cannot run a pornographic website, film pornographic content and so on without it being licensed and legalized by the state, whichever state it is happening in. Like, for example, a lot of it happening in the valley in California. Okay, so the more you wise up and you understand how the mind works, is the more you will know that all business actually comes from God. You'll know that there's only God in this world having this human experience. So you wouldn't judge and condemn people. You live in peace and love towards all man because you know that we are one. There's only one universal consciousness. There's only one universal mind, but just different arrangement of that one mind. So my brother, my sisters, in short, your mind is your business. Therefore, to mind your business is to really understand how the mind works and use the mind to become the best version of yourself. Everyone have to have their own morals and standards. And you have to respect other people's moral and standards. That's why it's not good to argue with other people concerning their beliefs. For example, as I come to a close here, I remember many years ago, a man approached me and asked me to attend a certain meeting. And I did refuse to go, and I was very judgmental without ever knowing anything about what it's really all about. And it is because of what I would have heard religious people and preachers say. Okay? And to be honest with you, that man never came back to me with that kind of conversation or with that kind of invitation. He never tried to force me. He never tried to convince me. And he always leaves something on my mind. You understand? That make me respect whatever he was into. Okay? But on the other hand, when a religious person approach you or come to you, they want to convince you. They want to bring fear upon you. They want you to believe that if you do not accept what they're bringing to you, if you do not believe what they're bringing to you, that you're going to burn in hell. All these negative things going to happen to you. And they always come with something negative. So I really learned from that. So I'm saying that you have to be the one to make whatever decision you want to make in life. Because at the end of the day, you came here alone. And you're going to leave here alone. So all businesses all around the world, doesn't matter what business it is, it all comes from the mind. It all came from God. God is your true self, your true essence. But remember, you have a higher self and a lower self. So the choice you make will definitely mean the life you will live. So with that being said, my brother, my sisters, I can go on and on and on. But I'm going to come to a close. And I want to thank you very much for listening to me. I want to say to you, if this is the very first time that you're listening to me, what I'm saying, if it really makes sense to you, if it really resonates with you, and you haven't subscribed already, I definitely want to encourage you to subscribe, to like, to comment, or to share this video. Also, if you like to follow me on Instagram, you like to follow me on TikTok, you can definitely follow me at Black Mad Guru. Also, I would encourage you to get my latest book, which is called The Secret Vagina Mystery of the Virgin Birth. This is where I'm teaching you about the secret portal. You see, I was raised to believe in the Jesus and Mary story as literal and secular history. I was taught to believe that a woman gave physical birth to a boy child from down below. But when I had the experience, I knew the mystery and I put it together in books. So everything I will ever say to you, I always speak from experience. Okay? It is just after I would have had my experience, I started buying books and try to read. And when I read those books, they were just confirming everything that I was actually saying. Okay? So I'll definitely encourage you to get a book plus Spiritual Recipe for Better Living. Your mood is your fortune, how to turn water into wine, how to open the floodgates of abundance, and much more. Not forgetting the 66 books of magic, the Overcomer's Bible. You see, magic and miracles are the same thing. Okay? And in that Bible, Jesus have been omitted. There's a blank space for you to write your name, which is I am. So if you are a free thinker and you're a seeker, I'll definitely encourage you to get that Bible, where I'm teaching you how the Bible really should be understood from on a metaphysical and esoteric level, on a psychological level. So make sure you check out all of the links that are down below and let your intuition lead you and guide you into what to do. However, if you'd like to become a part of my Patreon community, you're most welcome, and I have a course there for people donating $20 or more. It's called The Inner Sun Science and Technology to Create Your Reality Consciously. And along with that is a bonus course on self-concept. Also, if you like to do a one-on-one with me, okay, you can just check out all of the links that are down below and you'll be directed into what to do. So with that being said, I just want to say peace, love you all, I'm out.